Welcome to this channel. So today I invite my hand here to discuss on the training for fighting in Wing Chun. And Maham, can you please introduce yourself a little bit?
So I'm Mahen. I've been working with Henrik to understand what is the truth, because as a normal, common person who like to understand what is the truth of martial art, what is it about? So I was kind of following Henrik, and then he wrote a number of textbooks. I got them, and then was trying to read and learn from those books.
Okay.
But because there was a lot of problems today, because there are kind of people tell certain stories, so some people follow them. There is this king of martial arts, and then they tell that they are the great, and then there are this philosophical stuff going on. There are all sorts of magic stuff, and they show certain different issues with the internet and all that. There are a lot of experts all over the place. So I wanted to really understand what the truth about Wing Chun and the Chinese martial art per se.
Okay.
So,
So Maham, let me cut you 1 second.
right.
Can you please tell our audience what is your occupation so people can see why do you want to understand all this? What do you do?
Right, yeah. So I am a clinician plus a researcher. So I work on, so my main area of work is on respiratory viral infections. And from my childhood, I developed this kind of need to kind of also to understand what is
Okay.
martial arts and all that. So
Okay, so the issue right now here is you have a real scientist. Maham is a real scientist who study in science. And so the reason why I get him here today, or he want to be here today, he want to asking the question or discuss the issue in a scientific way. And as what I always share with everybody, hey, all this we share in America, we must follow strict scientific verification. So that's the reason Mahen is here. Okay. So now Mahen, how is the understanding of your study of Wing Chun difference between whatever you have studied with the video I just put out the other day on the training for fighting? Are they the same or it is a different stuff?
it's different stuff. It's different in the sense that most of the, unfortunately, most of today's Kung Fu is based on many of the stuff is like either hearsay or some story or some kind of a magic kind of a stuff that you really don't see that those things work in the real life. Like when you see the real martial artists, like the boxers or these people who are doing BJJ, or I mean, a normal common person like me who want to learn what is martial art will never have an idea of what they are like, what is their approach, what they are kind of doing, or what they're even talking about. So in the last two videos, Henrik showed us what is really happening. I mean, when you go to a kind of let's say a fighting scenario, you go there before the fight, how do you need to handle yourself there? And then when you are engaging in the fighting situation, how would you engage? And after that, how do you take care of yourself? So basically, that is like completely different type of understanding and knowledge base.
Okay, let's focus on that. I want to get to something. So you guys all out there who follow me in the channel or new, please ask questions under the comment area. Okay. Proper question is like our scientist Mahen here. You know, you don't have to agree with me. The issue right now is we need to clear the entire thing up, or else we all screwed because you are not prepared. If we cannot go to the ring, like I just saw Mahem say in the past video, I say that you need to know how to rest yourself. You need to know how to warm up yourself, and then you go fast, okay? And then you control your intensity of exertions in your fight, and then you back up, and then you in the recovery, and you need to have the aerobic or the fitness training to help your body. If we never train that way, forget about it. Don't talk about, oh, Wing Chun is good for street fighting. Huh? What the heck are you talking about? So on this context, I just tell you, what you need to have just for a normal fight in a tournament. We're not even talking about the king of Wing Chun or the best fighter of the Wing Chun. We just talk about us, ordinary soul. How do we prepare ourselves so we really be able to handle the thing? Now, I like to sum up 3 things. Why Wing Chun and Kung Fu and Tai Chi today is completely screwed up when it faces today's martial arts. I sum it up to you, okay? The first thing is the reality of fighting. Number 1, your body strength. Can your body take it? The second, speed. How fast you execute. The third thing is imbalance. Imbalance meaning that when you shoot out, everything will be changed. Nothing will be as you predicted. Your hand might end up different way because your opponent will do different thing. You're going to keep react and respond and so forth. Okay? Your opponent is going to break your balance, break your rhythm. So it's continued imbalance. Like if you throw a punch, the opponent will go duck under, try to take you out. Okay, now, you look at today's Wing Chun training. What did they train? The first, they do not train on their physical conditioning. None is go as high intensity, strenuous training like the MMA. That's why Bruce Lee, if you read it in 1964, after 1964, and in the 1969, his writing said, all this martial art is land swimming. So he go running after the 1964 fight with other Chinese Kung Fu guy. So there's body strength. Now, where is your training in Tai Chi or those kind of stuff or Wing Chun have to train those level of sprinting and all those kind of strength? The answer is no, you don't. You're punching like this until you're exhausted is not training about your body. Okay? Now, like the other day in this video I shared with you, one of the best fighters in this century is Rickson Garcia. You look at how he trained, how he handled his breathing, his heart rate and everything. How can you fight those kind of things? The second thing, it is about speed and speeds, high speed. You look at today, oh, you need to train your internal slowly. You train your 小念头 slowly. You do your set slowly. Then you get this magic chi. And then you talk about you have to be balanced. You have to stand straight, balance. Now you look at, you train your sets, your wooden dummy, everything, you're keeping doing those. You not train your body. So as what I make an example, Bruce Lee called it 60 years ago, is a land swimming. You look at our respectable fighter like Rickson Garcia, talk about how he handle his body, how strenuous thing that he can handle his heart rate and breathing. How are you going to face it? The training is about, oh, slow. So you have this chi, soft. And then you have to be center. When you throw a punch, our friends in MMA, in BJJ, in judo, want to take you down, is going to duck under and choke you. And it's going to go in an imbalanced way, really high speed, the entire body, no hand techniques. Now, with these three things, body conditioning, speed, and imbalance, how the hell are you going to face something like that where people train every day like that in like the BJJ, like in the judo, like in the Thai boxing, like in the Western boxing, like in the Kyokushinkai? How? You want to say that is a fight in the street? Tell me, in the past 130 years, which grandmaster, look at our excellent fighter Rickson Garcia's video. Tell me which grandmaster be able to describe things as him on the breathing and the strength and the exertions of his attack, his opponent, how he handled that thing. You can see that it's completely void. So 60 years ago, Bruce Lee said it is land swimming. What are you doing? So I know I'm saying this today by summing up this thing, three things today, your internal, your chi and everything, you're living in a diluted world. Sorry. That's why Chinese Kung Fu never been used. People like in the China have dig out like the fight in Macau between the Tai Chi Grandmaster, everything cannot compete with today's MMAs, like Zhang Weili's fight. Okay, now. So as Mahem, as you know, you study science, evolutions. In the face of evolutions, human, when you face changes, the first thing is what? Denial, in denial. So when you heard about what I'm saying today, you look into what you train the dojo, you are in denial.
Yeah.
Because you're always thinking the way how you think according to this grandmaster, this internal, this chi, and special can do anything. But in fact, compete with a real MMA or Western boxing or Thai boxing or Kyokushin or BJJ, it completely do not last a few seconds on the body conditioning. The second, people is training in high speed imbalance, and you keeping saying that you want to have your hand techniques, your balance, and your soft. Now, of course, you're going to get into the denial. Hendrik is bullshit. And then you're going to completely oppose it against what I'm saying. That's the second phase of change. We know it in technology, in science, in medical, in engineering. We know that will happen with human. The third thing is the third phase after the oppositions and everything, all this against. Some people start to see the light, say, hey man, why do I want to oppose it? So it follow the change. And then the fourth phase is it just go along with the change. So this is the fourth phase of change, right? From your denial, your oppositions, and then you see the light and you go along with the change. Now, we like it or not, Chinese Kung Fu, not only Wing Chun, you need to go through that because you have 100 years of brainwash with those secret techniques. Grandmaster, Qi, Fa Jing, do it lovely using mind power. Now you see the reality. The reality is all those things got nothing to do with fighting arts. So, Mahem, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, so the kind of there is this teaching that people, when they follow, as you told many times, in the YouTubes and to using many media like Facebook and all that. So there is this type of teaching that when people learn it, they start to defend it even without seeing what is in front of their eye. I mean, they see that nobody go there and then succeed anywhere, but still they try to defend, and to a level that they will like kind of ask you to kind of come and fight you or some kind of a nonsense that not really the case. I mean, if a car can go fast or not, it depends on the engine and all that. I mean, so if you see the real engine and you know it, you don't really need to like run the whole thing and they see it, but it's just a real mess. Like many people like believe it and then they run their life till the life ends because it's really.
Let's get an example. Since you are in the medical, it's like what? It's like if we have a village, in a village, and we have, say, SARS or COVID in the village. Then I am the tribal guy saying that for 100 years, you just drink this water, then everything will be gone. And my hand might come to say, hey, Hendrik, no. This is, you need this modern medicines. You need injections. I say, what the heck it is? No. The longer you wait, the more people get to the problem, the more people die. Okay, so at first denial, hey, my hand be a bullshit, right? And then you get into complete opposition, say this is again my tradition. This is again what our ancestors said. But then at the third phase is somebody start to see, hey, people who don't inject, they die. And so things start to quiet down and go to a proper direction. Say, hey, if you have those kinds of epidemic, you better go have a medicine. So it is exactly like that now. So that is what you need. You need to you need to plan, you need to train for your fight. Just a normal fight. When I brought out that you need to rest your body and then you warm up and then you go to the fight, you choose the time where you have the maximum exertions, and then after that you want to put yourself into the deep rest for recovery and then exercise back again. Those are just what? Those are just normal sports. In the fight, the rule protect you. Yeah. Right? Now, let me ask you questions. If you don't know about this, you never train this way, you want to go fight in the street? Do you know what you face? Because in the street is right away you get into what? You get into the maximum exertion. Can you handle that if you never train that way? So like in my book, the Decoding Wing Chun, like in the other video, I said, if you want to fight, you have to go train this way in this zone 5. Okay, and then when you practically you want to go zone 5. Now we know that this is zone 5 and it will exit. Okay, this is heart rate. zone 5 and it exits zone 5. So over here, this is mine. I can only last 6.41 minutes. Can I do more than that? I bet you if I can do only half of that in the real fight, which is 3 minutes, I will be happy. Because at that time, you have stress, you have a lot of different influence. Okay? Now, over zone 4, which is the accelerated, this is fighting level 1, this is fighting level 2, zone 5. If I can handle alternatively here, I might perform well because I might exit for 1 or 2 minutes here, and most of the time I stay here. Okay? Now, the reason why I ask you this, I tell you this is this. Have you trained that way? In the street fight, you right away go to zone 5. I don't know when it's going to end, but I know I only have 6 minutes. And the most I might only get 3 because I might get injured, get hit. Before I even start, I take a blow. When every blow I take, it will cut down my endurance time at zone 5. Am I right? So in the street fight, if you take a blow, you're injured, 6 minutes turn into 3 minutes, say. Right away, you have to do the job, not fight. You know what? Run. That's reality, right? Now, let me ask you a question, turning back. If you never know about this, whatever I tell you here, what are you going to do? Can your training fight?
Yeah, and you go into this false idea that you can handle that situation and you do more damage to yourself and maybe other people too by just
Especially when you get ambushed in the street. Do you know how scary is that? So my 6 minutes, 6.41 minutes might only end up to be 1 minute because of all the shock and everything. My body is, I'm human. I'm not Superman. And here I'm talking about ordinary soul. I'm not talking about the king of Wing Chun, the king of Tai Chi, or whatever heck which is never exists. Again, that's why Bruce Lee said it is what? Land swimming, if you keeping thinking that way. So like the other day, if you watch my video, I quote on our excellent fighter Rickson Gracie. He said that he's going to control his heart rate when the opponent is exit really far, he control it low, and then suddenly he boosts up. He's playing with that. Now, do you have that level, that training in playing over here? Have you have the capability of playing over here? Where Gracia, Rickson Gracia obviously is playing over here. And he can ramp it up, like this is ramping it up. Now, if I don't train properly in my fitness, my aerobic endurance low, this thing's gonna fly up and down. I have no control in the real world. That's called aerobic deficiency syndrome in today's language. Now, how are you going to face that? You hate me today because I tell you this, fine. But you think about your life. Are you going to teach your student, your sister, your daughter to do self-defense without knowing this? With only knowing a few hand techniques, and absolutely don't know about the strength, the body conditioning, the handling of the exertions to your endurance, the speed and in imbalance. If you never train that, I don't know how you're going to face the person you teach when they happen to get into issue. it is a responsibility, right? So your Wing Chun 4 sets, your Tai Chi set, tell me what do you develop? Tell me all your Qi internal demonstrations, Fa Jing, put 3 guys to you, or put a phone book, and then you have a short punch and inch punch and whatever. How is that match up with like a fighter like Rickson Gracia? You don't even have to face Rickson Gracia. Of course, he know how to train his people because he know all these things. So I'm not talking about the king. I'm talking about us, ordinary soul. We don't have light shining at us like the superstar. We don't. I don't care for those. What I care is we ordinary soul who is reside in the lower class in the mud. So that's why I get Mahem here. Well, he's a scientific guy. He's a well-trained. You got PhD in medicine or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So can I bullshit? I want to ask the entire world what I just shared with you on this aerobic heart rate, everything. Can I bullshit my hand here? It is science. There's no grandmaster here. We are just talking ordinary soul and typical standard we need to know. If people don't know this, it's like now today is COVID time, like 2 years ago. If you don't know about the virus, you resist on that, you know what you get into. It's too late when our friend, our family member died. Like 2 years ago, we see all in the hospital. Okay? So this is what it is. Now, I want to turn over, flip on the other side, where I didn't talk the other day. Well, so you want to fight, you want to train here, train hard, right? Let me tell you serious stuff. My Shaolin monk teacher in Southeast Asia, when he trained martial arts, so I can tell you this. My Shaolin monk teacher, Shi Fa Chan, he is the student of the Shi Gou Chan, very famous in Southeast Asia. He trained in martial arts. At the point, he puked blood. So my Qigong Shi Gou Chan asked him not to train martial art anymore. Okay? My Wing Chun, late Wing Chun Sifu, died with a heart problem at 60s, at his late 50s, 60s. My Kyokushin instructor passed away at age of 40 something, kidney issue. I have many classmates who have hernia. You know, all the sparring classmates in Kyokushin. My brother, who is a Kyokushin too, like me at that time, today, okay, due to when he was young, at that time, this is 1970s, 1980s, training in roundhouse kick. So what we do is we put a pole, a wooden pole. We dig a hole, we put the wooden pole into the ground, wrap it up and sweep it with a roundhouse kick until the pole tilted, and then we do it again. Today, my brother had problem with his knee. Okay. Today, circulation problem. So I want to tell the entire world, training in here is damaging. Fighting in here is damaging, as you see in my book, decoding Wing Chun. I tell you already, over here is not natural, it's very manipulative. You even ignore your body to fight here, okay? So you can see that people over there, you get in problem. That is the reason in the Chinese martial arts, you have this recovery part or nurture chi part. Now, that nurture chi part is for the body to recover and know your body. So in the ancient Chinese, it said that when you cannot breathe well, that means your circulation is no good. So you want to train to help the circulations, you want to nurture your chi, put your body into what we call samadhi. Samadhi means states, physical states. You want to put your mind to rest, meaning your nervous system to rest, and then you want the body to put into the deep states to help the circulations, to help the breathing. That is what, based on what? The Buddha's teaching anapanasati. So they focus on the breathing because when the breathing get fine, refined and refined and refined and refined and length and everything, it be able to loosen up the body. Well, of course, you can see that today there's a research in anapanasati meditations and then mindfulness and everything in Harvard and everywhere. That it can help the body. Now, that you have to be completely natural, meaning defined for you. Meaning, your fighting is here, your exertion is here. You want to heal your body, help your body. Now, when I say you practice anapanasati, not to say that you don't take medicine. You still need to take medicines. But you put your body under a state that it be able to recover itself. And then you have the medicine to help it. Not that you go here like a baby and then are natural and you don't take medicine. Okay? Now, today's martial art mostly is here. The ancient Chinese, because it's based on Buddhists, is here. And the Taoists, the Chinese Taoists, because it's after 1,500 years or so, the Taoists is actually sharing the Buddhist anapanasati today. Like the six healing sound, a lot of Qigong today actually is sharing anapanasati. So it is going into this. So I can share with you one thing is, if it's still here, this is the Shaolin strengthen the body conditioning. This is calculating the breathing. This is anapanasati based. Okay. So I share with you this is that in order to protect your body, you need also to know that recovering part. You cannot have only here. You cannot only have here. You need to have this. So the reason why I see this, I dig deep into this in the Buddhism, Taoism, like the six healing, breath and everything, is because I know there's issue over here. Like I tell you, my beloved late Sifu in Wing Chun passed away. All the shock punch, it is damaging the heart. My Kyokshin coach passed away. Kidney issue. A lot of my senior in Kyokshin got hernia because of all these exertions. not to mention my brother and my younger brother and so forth and so forth. So I want a way out. So my Kyokushin instructor passed away 40 something. His kid is really young. Okay. My Sifu in Wing Chun, a good fighter, passed away at 60. He's still really young. His kid is still young in a sense. My senior and classmate and so forth have kids and so forth. Now, that is the reason I put a lot of attention in this one. That's why I go to monks and Taoists and all the Qigong master. I want to learn this part. I want to understand completely what the heck is going on, what is written in the Wing Chun 1850s writing. Because that is going to save your life. You know, when you get into the limit, that is what you're not supposed to touch. If you want performance, it's going to cost you your health. So look around with all this good fighter today. You see, is it too? So Mahem, is that scientific?
Yeah, it's really scientific. I mean, as you told before, and if you are like even practicing fighting to a accelerated type of momentum zone, and then coming back and going, it's kind of a continuous shocking type of the body that would even induce like these micro damages that would like accumulate over time. So
one other thing which I want to mention is your free radical. If you're keeping training like that, free radical is going to cause cancer, is going to cause your heart issue. And at that time, at Bruce Lee time, even though like at that time the late Grandmaster Nan Huaijing and so have already said like the way how Bruce Lee trained is trouble. Well, today, as what I just tell you with you, all those on top, it is damaging. So you want to balance it. Okay, so time is up, and thank you, Mahem, and I hope that what I shared today share some light with you, because your life matter. Your life matter. Okay. And you need to know what you're training, what you get into. So
yeah, thank you so much.
thank you everybody.
Thanks.